Hello, Cancerians. How you doing? Welcome. We're going to be doing your first half of the general reading here. We're going to start off with some animal energy, just like I like it. And we'll get right to the cards. How about it? All right, one more shuffle. Let's see what animal you're working with. All right. So what is the animal energy for Cancer? For please. Ooh. Whoa. Okay. Oh, we have dolphin at the bottom of the deck, which I really love because in your meditation I saw a lot of good times had around the water. Oh, really, Cancerian? Let's talk about this. I love this. So let's talk. So we've got, the earthworm and the swan, another water animal here, which I'm obsessed with for you guys. But why my interest is so piqued by this for you guys is because these are, at first glance, these are contrasting energies, right? Because the swan is very much about romantic love. It really is. You see the reflection here, that mirroring effect. It's that kind of soulmate love where, you see each other reflected in each other, that kind of deep soulmate level connection, right? But then you've got this earthworm here, right? Which is it's different at first glance, and I've never gotten these two together, but it kind of makes a lot of sense because the earthworm is very much beginner energy, novice energy, right? I'm just starting out. I just enrolled in kindergarten. So, limbs are a bit like, ooh, muscles aren't firm, completely formed. I'm figuring it out, but I don't necessarily know completely, what I'm doing. And so I have a lack of confidence around that. So the fact that it's being paired with the swan for you guys, we could be talking about some romantic situation or a longing for romantic situation that is either new, right? Brand freaking new, or it's an energy that just makes you feel like, ooh, I don't know, I feel like a kid again. That's what this is, feeling like a kid again, the earthworm, right? But in like a vulnerable, trepidatious sort of way, not like, buying a convertible at age 5 feeling like a kid again. But let's see what comes up. Fascinating. The swan and the earthworm. Very cool. Yeah. Usually when the earthworm comes up, it really is about feeling unsure or lack of confidence or wanting this sort of safe bet, right? So the earthworm doesn't exactly take a lot of risks, but love requires a lot of risks. That's why, I'm real fascinated to see where this goes. All right. What's going on for Cancer's for first half of June? Amazing. And this is what it is. Okay, listen, Knight of Pentacles, you could definitely, because again, this is water energy here, right, with the swan. And then we have the earthworm, which is earth. You could absolutely have a water sign around you. Water sign. You are a water sign. You could have an earth sign around you, or someone that embodies the earth element, meaning they're grounded, they're focused, but they're more slow and steady wins the race. Know what I mean? So Knight of Pentacles. This is, this can very much be an offer, either something that's taken time to manifest or an offer that arrives and then kind of goes slowly. It's not a galloping patient. The Knight of Pentacles is the only horse depicted in the keys where it's completely standing still, not even a hoof up like in the Knight of Cups, right? Beautiful, yes. I mean, I love it, but this can very much be an offer, either in love partnership, it could be business partnership, doing a job or business that you love. This can absolutely be, let's talk about this for a second, because this is my favorite night ever. It's a completely favorite night. Why is this a favorite night? Because when it comes around, it's going to stay around because it took its time getting here. It thought it through. There's no impulsiveness like the Knight of Wands. There's no, oh, I feel this way, one day, but then I might change like the moon, like the Knight of Cups or whatever have you. Knight of Pentacles is where it's at. I love it. Okay, so very fortuitous there. Let's get another one. Wow, very cool. We are going into your element here in summertime though, and I did see in your meditation, there's a great sense of relief and relaxation that comes with the summertime. And then we got the Strength card. Okay. So this is Leo energy here, but of course we also have it repped by the number 8 and the infinity symbol, which is during the summertime. So this is lining up really, really nicely for you guys. You know, it's funny because this strength card is also in direct contrast to this earthworm energy. So I feel like you guys could be dealing with a romantic offer or someone that's been around a minute, but it's not official. Someone that's been eyeing you from afar, you've been eyeing them from something, in that realm that has you just feeling like unsure and kind of in your feelings and like, oh, I don't know, I feel all over the place, that kind of situation. And it's beautiful because you have strength coming in here that is very much, you know, like I said, it's Leo energy. But what I'm obsessed with the parallels here. Do you see how this horse is standing firmly, like we said, and so is the lion? It's a very grounded, rooted, which means it's a constant energy. It's going to be around a minute. And I feel like this strength card is a bit of your advice, right? Stay put, see it through. If you feel things like the earthworm, right, that are uncomfortable or even just new, because sometimes new things can be uncomfortable just because it's inherently, that's just, it's new. So we don't know how to navigate those waters, right? And this is just saying, like, trust that whatever comes to you is in your highest and best good for whatever lesson it's meant to be learned in that context. Do you know what I mean? Nothing, it's like that old saying, it's like nothing's going to come to you that you can't handle. Not really. And you'll know if it's for you by how you feel about it, especially as a water sign. You can relate to that. It's like, well, listen, thinking about it get me in a, you know, all kinds of, you know, Grand Central Station at rush hour. I don't know, I'm going this way. But as a water sign, especially as a Cancerian, you can really navigate the truth of things based on how you feel about them. And I'm not talking about just feeling it in your head space, your heart space. I'm talking about physically, where do you feel it? Because that's also the earthworm too. Is your head activated? Do you feel like a tension in the head? Is your heart expanding? Is your stomach dropping? That's the biggest clue for you around this situation that is romantic or love, in nature. Very cool. Knight of Pentacles in the strength. Woo! Okay. Let's get dinosaur for the cancers. I do feel like the summer is going to be very much your season. I mean, of course, it's your birthday season, but I feel like it's going to be especially good this year. Might have been a long, hard winter for some of you. Play it again, Sam. There we go. Oh. Page of Cups. Are you not repped right here with this gorgeous crab? Page of Cups and Knight of Pentacles. Listen, this is an offer in love. That's what this is. Or it's an offer of an emotional nature, right? So it could be like, hey, like, I think we should try this. Like, can we come on and do this thing? Or can we at least go out together and see where it goes? I love it. And I kind of love that it matches my nail polish too. I'm telling you, summer is going to be your season. Very much so. You know, they're drawing attention to something interesting. So do you see, I've never noticed this before. Do you see how the land and the sea are both beautifully depicted here with this starfish here and then the crab, land and sea? That there's something really significant about that. I think you could definitely be dealing with or attracting to you or becoming invested in a sign that is of another element from your own. We have the starfish, which for me represents Aquarian, right? And this is you guys with the fish here, water, crab here for the Cancer. I do feel like this is like an earth sign or an air sign or a fire sign because you got the strength, but I do feel like you're dealing with an element that's different than your own, which is interesting, and it kind of makes sense with the earthworm because sometimes when we deal, depending on where other placements are, of course, your moon placement, your rising, your Venus, all of those come into play in different ways. But for the most part, when we are dealing with a, placement, a sign that is of a different element than ours, we can kind of feel like the earthworm where it's like, ugh, are we speaking the same language? You know what I mean? It's like I said, when y'all are in alignment, you approach things from, an emotional, kinesthetic, sensory sphere, right? And if you're dealing with an earth sign, for example, as read by the Knight of Pentacles, and I just split the deck and got Knight of Pentacles again. It can be kind of like, wow, okay, let's just see. But if you go with your feelings about it, we'll never steer you wrong. Not really. let's get some clarifiers here. How exciting. Interesting. I do feel like for some of you, it's going to feel like a past life connection, which can also be very earthwormy because sometimes that can feel a bit intense. What can I say? Where it's like, I've never met you in person before, but I really feel like I know you. You might have dreamed about them, something like that. It's going to be on that kind of level, okay? Which is also going to make it really hard to ignore. I just heard that. It's going to make it really hard to ignore. Okay, let's get a clarifier for Knight of Pentacles here. Whoa, we got 2 for 1. Ooh, we got the High Priestess. Were we not talking about coming at things from how you feel about them? You know, this is really connecting it with your intuition and then making choices based off the guidance that you get from, you know, the intuitive realm, right? Also, it is the number 2 card, and we are talking a bit about partnership here. You know, we also got this paired with the 3 of Pentacles, which I have to tell you is very much lining up with the Strength card for me. We will get to that in a second. But you do got a lot of Earth energy here. So the Knight of Pentacles with the High Priestess. I'm just going to say this, because especially because you've got the Earthworm paired with this, I do feel like, you know, Spirit is kind of, I don't want to say warning you, but that sounds a bit ominous. But kind of giving you a heads up where it's like, listen. In order to navigate through this relationship, this partnership, this offer, this next step, whatever have you, the fastest way to move out of this earthworm energy, like I said, connecting with what's going on from a feeling place, but really it's the intuition, right? Because that's the major feeler. That is the bank of feelings and information that we pull from, where it never really steers us wrong, right? But in order to connect with our intuition, we have to set that intention and go quiet and listen, right? Because, you know, this is a really good point. Because the earthworm too can happen when we are acting at things where it's like, oh, I don't know, and we're doing the mind cardio. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know what to think about this. I keep hearing this. Is this going to last? Maybe this time. Is this one going to last? I keep hearing that, right? But let's just like invert this earthworm. And instead of trying to figure things out from a mental sphere or from this mind cardio that I'm talking about, or even like going to your friends about it, whatever have you, you know, I feel like this is saying like receive the information, look for signs and synchronicities, look to how you feel when you're in their presence or when you think about them, okay? Because the mind can grow maniacal and sometimes, you know, trick us into coming from a place of fear rather than intuition. Why? Because we're human beings and it can happen. So I love this. You got the 3 of Pentacles with the Strength card. So here's what I'm getting with this, because this is so cool. Because the 3 of Pentacles is, you know, represents for me you getting rewarded or accolades or recognition for work that you do that only you can do. So this is something that you are especially good at, right? Now, what I'm getting here with the context of the Strength card, oh, weird, they just pointed something out. 8 plus 3 is, and sometimes they have me do math, and I'm like, oh, Lord, please don't. But it is a beautiful sign also of partnership. We also have the swan here with the mirroring effect, so that's a beautiful manifestation coming through for y'all. But back to what I was saying before I did the math there, is, you know, this 3 of Pentacles, what I'm getting with this is this person, right? Because this is a soulmate we're talking about. There's no other, this is not karmic, this is a soulmate. They are going to like and appreciate you for exactly who you are because of the strange little quirky things that you and only you do. I just saw a really funny image. They're showing me like 2 people sitting down to a first date. And one of them, you know, is feeling earthwormy, kind of nervous, like, I don't know. And they have this little tick, a little quirk that they do where they need all of the utensils lined up in a certain way. And they need the salt and the pepper lined up in certain proportion. Everything has to be equal distance from the next. And I see like this person like going, oh God, I really want to move this fork and this knife so that they're equal distance from each other. But is the date gonna think I'm a big weirdie because I'm doing that? I'm hearing like, do it, because that's exactly why this person is gonna be so set on you, because it's those little unique little quirks that make you you, that this person, it's just gonna have them drooling over you. And I really love that. It's really, really cute, actually, the way that they're showing it to me. Aww. Okay, let's get a clarifier for this page of cups here. Page of cups. I'll do it. I cannot with this. Knight of Wands. Okay, this is really, okay, I'm obsessed with this. Do you remember when I was talking about the Knight of Pentacles and how it has true staying power, and that's why it's my favorite knight? Because even though it might take a minute to get here, it is going to stick around, right? This Knight of Wands is a very fast-moving energy, which also means it can exit as quickly as it comes in, right? The fact that it is paired with this Page of Cups, I feel like this is twofold, and I feel like it might be different for different folks. But I feel like this is twofold. On one hand, because I keep hearing this over and over, is this one going to stick around? Is this person going to stay? I just heard, is this too good to be true? Heard that. So what's cool about this is that I feel like this is, because the Knight of Wands, yes, has a bit of a reputation for being a player. Okay. And I know that no cancers, not all the same or anything, but every Cancer that I've ever known, and trust me, my family is chock full of Cancers, darling. Really, really, oh, did you hear that car horn? Yes, testify. They at least like commitment in a way where it's like, I've never met a Cancer that was really vibing with the player energy, so to speak. Do you know what I mean? Because they rule the home and the hearth type deal. Cancers do, in opinion and experience. I feel like this is saying, this Page of Cups, this is a fear. I'm getting this Knight of Wands as a fear within you. So maybe you've had relationships that just came and went or didn't work out, or you're really invested, right? You could have even lived together, been together a minute, or really loved this person, and they just dipped out, or they had other people that they were, entertaining, okay? But then this is really saying, like, that's not what this is, okay? Don't be seeing ghosts where there are none. You know what I mean? I just heard warning sign. I think it's by Coldplay, warning sign, right? And I keep seeing this restaurant imagery. I just saw an exit sign. So I do feel like you might be going out to the dinner. A little dinner invitation, possibly by the water. Wouldn't that be romantical? But seriously, this is saying that this time is different. Feel it out. Don't try to get too much in your head about it. This time is different. Okay? And at a certain point, you will know this. Maybe not immediately, because we do have the earthworm here. But you're going to wake up one day and you're going to be like, wow, they're the other half. They're swan. They're true mirror reflection. Look at how gorgeous this is. Okay? Ooh, Lord, Cancerians. Woo-hoo-hoo. Let's get an oracle. I'm feeling the goddess today. Let's get an oracle for y'all. Let's get an oracle. I'm also hearing, don't be afraid to take your time as well. Because we've got this Knight of Pentacles here on the string. Don't be afraid to take your time as well, okay? It's okay. They're still going to be there. They're still going to be there, but, you got to take your time with things too. Because that earthworm cannot and will not be rushed, okay? Also, I feel like this dynamic, this relationship, this start of something could be highlighting for you some things around past love, disappointment, and rejection that have an opportunity to be healed within this new dynamic. Okay? All right. Let's get an oracle from the Cancers. Oracle from the Cancers. Ooh. Oh, I just got shivers all over myself because this is literally what I was just saying. I'm not even going to try to pronounce her beautiful name here. But it's easy does it. There is no need to hurry or force things to happen. Everything is occurring in perfect timing. Were we literally not just talking about that? Hey, Cancerian, easy does it, right? Also, what's gorge is this is a dove here, which is also one of the symbols for divine love. We also have some rainbow energy here, which for me also is very much indicative of the summertime. Okay, guys, there's no need to hurry or force things to happen. Everything is occurring in perfect timing, Knight of Pentacles, right? I love this. Guys, I'm so excited for you. This is really gorgeous. And I feel like this has a lot of potential to be something that lasts for a really, really, really long time. And so there's no need to rush it. Okay, this person isn't going anywhere. Let your freak flag fly because they're only going to love you more for it and because of it. Okay, my darlings? All right, Cancerians, this was your first half of general reading. I so hope this resonated with you and was of help. If so, please let me know in the comments below. I would just love that. Love that so very much. And with that being said, thank y'all so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. But mostly, thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.